students have to get involved in it. Something has to be done about the environment. This environmental club does a lot for the school. It plays a large part in our school because it kind of brings everything together.
This project's brought out the best of all the students at Chaminade. It's all the students' work. We're trying to restore Black Creek with brown trout because they were in there originally along with Atlantic salmon.
It's a project like this that hardly no high schools in Ontario have.
If you see the magic of ideas, an idea comes out and 2 years later it is now spread from its inception right out the school and right into the community. Two students, a fellow named Mario and Fab, came to see me and said, why don't we start an environmental club?
And he thought it was a great idea and helped us out, pushed us even further, and gave us more ideas.
So that was the start 3 years ago of this amazing project that has taken off in leaps and bounds and continues to grow.
Yes, make sure to take a boot, put your name on the board, gentlemen, please, and the number of your waiters or your booths, whatever they are.
This happened so fast. We thought it would take a lot more time, but it just worked so well with the community and the people, and we got so much support.
Mr. Giza, he's like the mother brown trout, and we're like his eggs. And basically, he started us out on this project, and we kind of take it over.
We've taken a small 1 kilometer section of Black Creek, and basically it's a prototype to present to the Ministry of Natural Resource to hopefully get other schools involved.
The water's so cold in Black Creek that it's actually suitable for brown trout, because in the olden days, actually there was Atlantic salmon and brown trout in there until it became polluted. So basically that's an ideal river for brown trout, and people don't know that. And our plan is for one day that people walk out of their house and they see like fish jumping out of the water.
I had to look for an independent study unit in my OAC biology, and those are the terrific kids in OAC biology. So we worked the two in together, and we started to come up with a list of projects in the OAC biology.
I know as a fact for the science curriculum, they spend a good 5 days down at the creek cleaning up and studying the animal life.
When we first looked at the creek 4 years ago, you could not, if you stood on the bridge and looked down in the river, you could not see the water.
The major thing that we do is we clean up the creek. We spend about an hour of the class cleaning up the creek, or also that some of the teachers, they take down their classes here and they actually have the lesson down at the creek, sort of more peaceful environment than always being up in the classroom.
There's been a series of 6 or 7 different erosion control projects in our prototype of our section of the creek.
We've made out some fish lunkers in the river. What we have here is we have a sort of a bank that's elevated off the river floor by logs. It took us about 4 months to actually dig the holes and put the logs in to elevate the bank. The space underneath that we provided for the fish is a nice place for the brown trout to relax or to spawn or to even stay out of the open areas, because it's been proven that brown trout do not like to stay in open areas.
My involvement with every day before and after school, I'm in here, I'm feeding the fish. We clean out the fish tanks, we take care of them, we monitor their progress.
And I'm testing the water in the hatchery, and my job is just to regulate and keep track of comparing water from the fish hatchery to the water in Black Creek. Well, the purpose of everything we're doing is just to, have the fish survive, and the chemicals in the water plays a major part, and so we need to keep it regulated.
Tell you about the river and then about getting your waders on your boots.
This is the Duffins Creek, the west branch of the Duffins Creek. We're electroshocking rainbow trout. The purpose is, and this just stuns the fish, it does not kill them. We're taking the eggs from the females and sperm from the males. We're combining it, taking it back to our hatchery. You guys will be taking some back to your hatchery at the school. And in 30 days approximately, these eggs will hatch, and you'll have little baby rainbow trout in your hatchery and you raise those.
We work with the Metro East Anglers, and we set up an electroshocking day that we went on the Duffins Creek, and we electroshocked fish.
It is a requirement in grade 9 science to do reproduction and to do practical reproduction. So the grade 9s are getting this tremendous experience of coming out here, actually seeing the process in the stream, collecting the eggs, bringing them back to study their development in the classroom. .6, 10-pounder.
Here, when they start to get orange and dark like this, generally they're ready to spawn. So this is a male fish. You can tell the male fish have kind of long and pointy heads, and they have this hook on their jaw. It's called a kype. Okay, and it's generally grown during spawning time. So that's how we can tell the males from the females. In a minute, we'll pull a female out, and you'll be able to tell the difference. Okay. So what's going to happen now is we're going to dry the fish off. It's important not to get any water mixed in with the sperm or the eggs, because that starts to activate the fertilization process, which we tend to want to delay till we get down to the hatchery. That's disgusting.
Greasy good stuff.
It is a female fish. If you compare it to the male fish, you can see its head's really blunt. Usually their nose curls down in the front, and they got a stubby looking head.
We milked the male and female so we could produce our own little small eggs. We work hand in hand together. Like, they needed the extra volunteers and we needed the extra eggs, so we worked hand in hand together.
Normally, in the stream, the female lays her eggs, and the male comes in and fertilizes. So what we're going to do is copy that. We'll put the eggs in here, and then we'll add the sperm. Okay? Then we add a little bit of water, and the water acts as the catalyst. And we mix it all up, and that fertilizes the eggs. But it all has to be done very quickly. Once you put the water in, the hole in the egg which starts the thing, will seal up after about 3 minutes. So you have to do it quickly.
Okay, so we'll just add a sample of sperm.
Anyway, thanks for your help, guys. We'll catch the fish in a few years to come.
2 times a year, the school has a big Black Creek cleanup. It's on a Saturday most times. We all come together at the school. We all sign up waders and boots. Then we all go down as a group. We clean up for about 4 or 5 hours, and after there's normally a barbecue and we have a duck race.
We pull those shopping carts, tires, pieces of cars, car batteries,
coaches, license plates, mattresses, shopping carts, golf balls, golf clubs.
Go over tires, oil,
boots, garbage bags.
And on the way we even found a newspaper box down there.
Things that we see down there are mostly the shopping carts.
Shopping carts. Lots of shopping carts.
Lots of shopping carts. Over 100 shopping carts were pulled out of the creek.
Which gives us a total of over 400 in the last 4 years.
We get the community involved by showing them the Black Creek cleanup days and the duck races and the barbecue. So we just let the whole community know that polluting Black Creek isn't a good thing.
The funding of the whole project has been 100% to students. I walked into my mailbox yesterday and pulled in a letter from the Ministry of Natural Resources. Congratulations, you have $1,000 for your fish hatchery. That was initiated by OAC students 3 years ago. That group of students 3 years ago raised over $50,000. They applied for 9 funding projects. All 9 were approved.
Twice a year when we have our Black Creek cleanup, The student council goes around class to class selling tickets for our duck race. They're $3 each. And basically, after we finish cleaning up Black Creek, we dump all the ducks into the creek. We let them race down, and the duck that crosses the finish line first wins, and then we pull out the tickets for that duck, and the winner receives a prize.
Well, we've grew over 20,000 Gloxinias plants, and we sold a few of them at the Black Creek Cleanup Day. We've written letters to Canada Trust and other fundraising companies, and we've gotten some money through that way. We're also raising tomato plants, which we soon are going to start selling to the Italian customers.
A former student is the head of the Black Creek Businessmen's Association who won the major award this year, so he has just phoned me up and wants to start a major fundraising process. So it has now officially spread from the school into the Businessmen's Association, into the local housing developments, into the Toronto Region Conservation Authority, Ministry of Natural Resources.
The major thing I've been involved in is forming a non-profit corporation. And the reason why I want to make this non-profit corporation is to incorporate the environmental club with it so that we can apply for funds. And the funds are going to be used for a series of projects, notably the removal of the concrete along Black Creek.
When God made trout creeks, he did not make them of concrete, and he did not take off the vegetation and have the erosion.
The concrete was put on Black Creek to prevent flooding, but it actually does the opposite. The concrete is shaped like a funnel, so it actually collects the rainwater and prevents the water to be absorbed into the ground. What happens when it rains, and it rains a lot, it pours and the rain collects and it just flows down the river at incredible speeds. So all the work that we do after the concrete is going to get wiped out, and fish are going to have a really hard time going up the concrete again. So we have to get it ripped up.
Basically, we've had meetings with the Ministry of Natural Resources. We're coming up with some sort of project that we can get construction companies and actually rip out the concrete and restore it to its natural trout stream banks.
What we're trying to do is we're trying to raise the money, and we're just going to pay other corporations to evaluate it and rip it out. But we're really the prime motivator behind it, because we're really the only ones that want to get it ripped out. I don't really know of any other organizations that are actively trying to do it.
A fellow at the Conservation Authority the other day just told us that the internal memo in the Conservation Authority is the concrete is naturally decaying after 50 years, then has to be done. Chaminade just happens to be here when something has to be done. You either replace that concrete, which everyone realizes today is totally the wrong way to go, or you come up with bioengineering. So working with the University of Guelph and 3 PhD students, it looks like the final thing will be, we will be a prototype to rip out concrete on a trout stream that has never been done before on this scale, and that looks like their direction.
I think this club has grown tremendously throughout the last couple of years. When I started, I just thought it was like an environmental club. We go down to the creek, pick up garbage just to make it look pretty around the school. But in time, you know, we just brought the fish hatchery, and that's been a new thing. And it's just incredible how we can bring fish. No other schools can do that. Well, no other schools have done that.
We've been working on it for 4 years now, and since day one, we've had many obstacles to overcome. And since day one, we've been completing those obstacles, so we've never given up our hope.
This project has really pointed me in the direction I want to get into for the rest of my life. I'd like to get into the environmental science field, or the biology field.
I think being part of this club has changed my outlook on the way people treat our environment. And our work on Black Creek is so insignificant compared to the entire city, but it does a part, and it just shows that like little things can help out.
The work that we've been doing down on the creek is more of a passion of mine than an actual school activity, because ever since I was a little kid, I was really interested in the environment and the fish in particular. So it's given me a little insight to my future of what I want to do.
This started with one person raising his hand 5 years ago in Mr. Giza's OAC biology course. Now we have a full-fledged fish hatchery with brown trout and rainbow trout.
And, we had them since they're about half a centimeter, and now they're about an inch and a half, and they're about good size to release now. So, this is the first time since the species went extinct in this creek that we're actually restocking the fish.
Stuck on the top.
To actually see the brown trout that we've raised to go back into the creek, it was amazing.
Can't throw any more garbage in this creek now. It's a brown trout creek from now on.
The little brown. Same time next year.
The environmental club has been pushing through, and it's been progressing. A lot of good things have been happening, and so it kind of like just gives maybe gives some hope. You know, something good is happening.